Hare Krishna. Yes, His Grace, His Holiness Bhaktivigna Narasimha Swami Maharaj was talking about the book. One thing I see, His Grace Ananga Mohan Prabhu is an artist, no? His hands, his lotus hands are in every single detail here in this building on how to restore this place, of course together with the beautiful team of devotees who are supporting and working together on this, and as well as this book. You know, this is the book that the first copy is free for His Grace Bhagavatamrita Prabhu. No, it's actually, look at this book. This is like a gift. Oh, and this is the photo of the deity of Gandharvika Giridhari. Jai, Hare Krishna.
Gandharva Giridhari.
Gandharva Giridhari. Hare Bol. What is the name of the deities?
Gandharva Giridhari.
Hare Bol. Again?
Gandharva Giridhari.
One more time.
Gandharva Giridhari.
Anybody wants, they can get it downstairs.
Yes. Anybody want the book? It's a very pretty book. So you can get it downstairs. They have a small shop there. Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Namo Vishnu Padaya, Krishna Prestaya Bhutale, Srimate, Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamani, Namaste Sarasvati Devi, Gauravani Pracharini, Nivrisesa Sunyavadi Paskachadi. Okay. First, it's always a great surprise to come here. I came here before, I have my wife, and I have my son, so we're from Italy, Italian descendant. And when we come in here, we saw this is pristine renovation with the international standard. And you can, I was surprised to find such beauty, right here. And we inquire about, who did this job, and how it came about. So it was very surprising, everything very tasty, very well done. And downstairs, the way they did it, and the paintings, the doors, everything. You see the details, They say the devil is in details. Here, the angels are in the details too. Very beautiful. So also,
This is also, you can announce, this is now National Heritage Property.
okay, see, this is national heritage property. The government of West Bengal.
Yes, and we are getting a nomination, we are getting a prize of cleanest heritage property of India.
See? Plus you get prize, cleanest heritage of India. So this is Prabhupada thinking big. You do something first class, 100% on the ball. And this is, I'm proud to be here because the architecture, the renovation, it creates the ambience, immediately put you at peace with devotion in the heart. It's true. Okay, see the greens and the flowers and the rooftop. And you can just see Prabhupada walking through the door, pushed by, was it Narendra
Malik.
Narendra Malik. Come, no, come on. And he pushed and he sees Bhaktivedanta. You can see the whole scene here in front of you. It's so easy, you can grasp it within your heart. And because we all the same, in a sense, we all a little bit in the same situation. Like I have, before I go to that part, I just want to mention something. Some of the photos in here you can see is the before the renovation, and you can see the extensive work they did in here, which is amazing. Some of those photos in the wall that's downstairs, there's some more. Okay. So there's many God brothers of mine. They have extensive association Prabhupada. There were secretaries, so we read, Transcendental Diary, and we read online every Wednesday, and it's beautiful stories, Prabhupada managing the society and everything. And all these devotees, they have extensive association, Prabhupada. Me, I was a little bit of the guy in the trenches, always Sankirtan. I say a Mayapur devotee, but I was never like more than 3-4 days in Mayapur, the Sankirtan van comes in, by the time you relax, time to go out again, Our thing is to be out there distributing books. We went to Rajasthan, Assam, we opened up South India, all kinds of things, Bangladesh. So, and just now I was hearing, I'm thinking, Prabhupada, he has the same type of association that us in the trenches we got. Some of my god brothers, I have one god brother, he is a state of association Prabhupada, and I love that devotee. Prabhupada was in this temple in America, and there was a corridor, and he was chanting, and then he said, no, I gotta go in the bathroom. So he sees a door, he opens the door, and Prabhupada there is chanting in the room. And Prabhupada stopped and said, yes. And he's nothing, I'm looking for the bathroom, something like that, and it's curly away, And this was the standards association Prabhupada. Now, we don't want to be too extreme, but Prabhupada has, 3 times the association with Guru Maharaj. One time here, then there was Vrindavan, and then one, that's before Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur left. And there's one more, that was about Allahabad or whatever, right? That's when he said, you print books, he gives that order in there. So Prabhupada had very little association too, like 3 times. It's not like he was all the time, next to his Gurudev, drinking the nectar of his association, seeing everything he does. You see, he was hearing about his Guru from his god brothers at that time, but Prabhupada saw his Guru 3 times. And that was sufficient for him just to, carry on what he asked him for the first time, you see, which is like he took to heart and he nourished that, he protected, and he never gave up to the idea of going to the West. And because I think what Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Prabhupada, I think what he said is that you are a young man, very intelligent, why don't you take this message of Lord Chaitanya to the people in the Western world? I think he said that. Perhaps I'm not so, but I think that's what he said, right? Take this to the Western world. You see, so that stuck in his heart. You see, and he protected that instruction. He nourished, and quietly he carried his life, just like today we heard about Raghunatha Das, and Lord Chaitanya said, what are you doing? What do you want to be a sadhu for? Go back and be just a normal person. So in a sense, Prabhupada, he was like the normal person, but with incredible potential, waiting to flourish. And he did his time. He did his duty. He did everything. He served the devotees in Allahabad, right, in Prayag. He was a outstanding member at that time, doing what he could do. Some of us are gihasras, some of them with children. We have family, and we think, how can I do? How can you can you go, your whole family go and surrender to Krishna. I think that's the best position. Wife, children, everything. You become like a brahmachari gihasra or something, detached, but doing your dutiful with great spirit and dedication. So Prabhupada, he carried on. Even this, when it's about to go to the Jaladuta, the senior company, the CEO, the lady in there, she said, well, Swamiji, why are you going there? You just sit comfortably. You go to Vrindavan, now everybody your age, they're sitting, they're chanting, you can do, you have done enough already. Just sit and chant and relax. And Prabhupada said, no, I must do this. I must do this. And he did it with great sacrifice. You see, he did it because he was seeing each one of us here. He was seeing maybe from the very beginning here, what Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur Prabhupada, what he saw, Prabhupada also saw. And we're not the only ones. 50 years from now, 200 years from now, who is going to be here? Your great-great-grandchild will be here. And that is big amount of people that are going to be here because Prabhupada said, I must fulfill the order of my spiritual master. And sometimes it looks impossible to do. How can he do this? Does he have like a super plan? His plan was to get to America, see if I could turn left or right. And even the famous 40 rupees he had in his pocket, the truth is, he didn't have the 40 rupees. When he was going to the boat, to the Jaladuta, to the ship, he asked his son, do you need any money? Okay, here he gave the 40 rupees to his son. So Prabhupada was zero. So how did he get the money? He sold his Bhagavatams to the ship captain. That's how he got the money. You see, when he gets to America. So Prabhupada was a quintessential book distributor, to give the transcendental literatures out. Prabhupada went to America. He went there not to do temples. Yes, that is there. He went there to distribute his Bhagavatam. You see, he went there to distribute his Bhagavatam. Because in the Bhagavatam says, this is the light of the world. People will get light from this Purana. You have to read that verse again and again. There's nothing in this world, and some of us have a little bit of age, you cannot find anything that gives light the way the Bhagavatam gives light. And that is the beautiful thing, that's the beautiful Bhagavatam. That's what they call it. This is the beautiful Bhagavatam, right? This is the light of the world. And people, they cannot see yet. Just like Prabhupada coming to America, Swamiji, why are you doing here alone? I'm not alone. I have many temples, many devotees. You cannot see them yet. You see? So the light of the Bhagavatam, it's there. People cannot see yet. But more and more, like the sun morning, it coming up, and dissipate the darkness, and more people can see. People can start to understand incredible knowledge that is in the Bhagavatam, knowledge, astronomy, philosophy, theology, Ayurveda, all kinds of knowledge, the position, our position within this material world in terms of Earth, planet, and everything else, it's amazing knowledge. And one day, people will give, credence. They will acknowledge the powerful Bhagavatam. Because I see that they have nothing sometimes. They have manuscripts, they have a little bit here and there, and they try to build up a whole system of understanding the world by philosophical, theological means, and it's very crude. But the Bhagavatam can give a final destination of light, for those who are seeking, and pursue this light to their satisfaction. Okay? So, I want to have a question here, but the Prabhu left. First of all, my question is, when Bhaktisiddhanta Sarasvati Thakur, Srila Prabhupada, he was here, he was from a certain period of time, he was here all the time, he never went back to Mayapur, he was back and forth like that, he was his basing here, not in Mayapur anymore. How is that?
He mentioned 12 years he lives here.
Yes, so here, he was not going to Mayapur.
Maybe,
Yeah?
I guess so.
Let's have we can ask later. And I have a question also for all the sadhus in here, particularly our beautiful, strong sannyasis. Prabhupada, I never see like Prabhupada studies Sanskrit, and he has extensive knowledge of Sanskrit. He translated the whole Bhagavatam. And I was wondering, how did he acquire this knowledge? He studied. Really? Okay. All right, so that is the answer. He studied in the Scottish school, and I didn't know that. He has some extensive knowledge of Sanskrit. But okay, so thank you for this opportunity to speak. And Kolkata is also it's special because we did a lot of preaching here. We did life members here. A lot of the Maori. There's the Maori area. There's the Bengali area. That is the Sindhi area. So there's different areas in here, and that's the merchants, different merchants. They stay in different places. So we did beautifully here with a lot of membership, and we did a lot of book distribution, which was in Hindi, Bhagavatamrita, I think the first canto Bhagavatam, in Hindi, and some books in English, back to Godheads and everything. So our boat, we used to do the Nitai Pada Kamala, which we have some nice idea maybe for Safari 2027. I don't wanna, I don't wanna push you on that. But our boat came to here in Babugat. We stopped our Nitai Pada Kamala in Babugat. And at that time, you could get a massage for like maybe 2-3 rupees. I can't remember. But those massages not like Thailand massage, really. This guy's like a train wreck, man. Yeah, like you come out, you come out good. But wow, those guys have iron grips, Those Babugat Wallas, And so we stay there, we come take prasada in the temple, then we go preach, then we come back at night, go back in the boat like that. So I just go to one pastime in the boat, I'll be ready here. Okay, so we are in the boat, and here around Calcutta, we park the boat in the middle of the river. I guess, natural survival instinct. So now you have water everywhere, so you can see who's coming, who's not, So we sleep. There was like a roof on top, and there's a cell. It goes down. So we cover ourselves with the cell. It's a little belty. This the pillow. We watch the stars, and that's how we used to sleep in there. It was not raining anything. So this time we see. It's kind of 11 o'clock at night, kind of late, even from Bengal. So we see there's a boat coming. It's a boat coming. Oh my God, it's dark. Maybe the chief of Daikots are coming. I didn't send anybody, but they may have come. I don't know. So there was a particular devotee there. He said, "Hey, everybody, come. Something's going on. Look, this boat is coming. Oh, they're going to rob us or something. We have nothing here. Just Gornitai. Okay, you two, you guard Gornitai. We stay here. We get them if they come. What about if they have machete or something? We push them away, with the paddles or something. So we have whatever you could hand. We have paddles. We have, the cell thing we can push in front of them, whatever, right? So the boat is coming. We all wait and see. We don't give it away, right? Our heads are down. What they're gonna do? But the boat is coming. When it comes to the boat, one guy raised the hand. Haribo! Do you have prasad? Oof. Come on, man. We all back there. There was some kitri from the evening time. Hare Krishna, the boat is rocking, We're doing one kirtan there, that was like amazing. So those are the pastimes of the boat. And that's another thing you should know, when you're around here in Kolkata, in Brazil we have a thing called the pororoca. It's like the Amazon push the ocean far. And when the ocean goes up, the tide goes up, it pushes the river back. That creates a wave. So we have a little bit of a pororoca here also. That the Ganga pushes the ocean out, and then the ocean pushes the Ganga back. And one time we were in the boat, you see? And suddenly the boat started rocking. This is a earthquake. Wait a second, we're in the water. There's no earthquake in the water. There was that wave coming back and it was shaking the boat, you know, and we're not dancing. And the pots, you know, in the kitchen, blang, 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 falling, you know, everything was, wow, was a scary moment, you know, and so we learned to figure out, you know, how to park it and how to prepare for the Ganga Pororoca at that time. Thank you very much. I hope you all can come back to the boat. We're gonna take, maybe it's desired that, you know, we all go in the Ganga safari in the Ganga. Maybe. Why not?
Waiting for that.
Planting the seed, right? Why not? The real Ganga safari this time.
Can you tell us one more leader of the Itaipala Kamala? No? How it started the Itaipala Kamala? How they got the boat? How is Prabhupada?
When I came, the boat was already functional. I was recruited. Let's go to the boat, you know. And they got me, and Satvik was there. Who else was there? You know. Anyway, and we go up and down the Ganga. You know, we did a lot of good preaching. How they started, I don't have it, you know, because it was a little bit before my time. Who came with the idea? But it's nice to know. But I know that at one point, the Majis, you know, the Maji is the people that manage, no, they take care of the boat, right? We're not boatmen. Sometimes we have to go against the flow of the Ganga. So what they do, they get a huge rope from the top of the mast, and they go in the bank and they pull the boat, the pulling. Two people pulling the boat, one guy steering, and the boat going against the current. When it goes in the current, it goes very fast. So these guys, for some reason, they stole the boat. Look at that. Everything is possible in this world. The boat disappeared. And it was not a parking ticket, I can tell you. So they took, and we got, make a story short, we got the boat back after like 2-3 years later, maybe even more, because those guys, you know, they kind of took away the roof. They make into, because it was a fishing boat, they make again looking like a fish boat, and they put there in Sundarbans. You know, there was hiding between some trees in there or something. But some guy knew where it was, he got some bribe money, he come and show us where it was. But that's not, you know, it's not as simple as, oh, that's our boat, so let's take it. Now we have to go to the police, we have to go to the court system, we have to prove the boat is ours, you know, for some, you know, arcane, sorcery, magical documentation and everything. And, you know, and that took a while, because, you know, they saying one thing, you know, that also, those guys, oh, this boat is ours, blah, 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 you know, but they couldn't prove anything, you know, and they make some assertions, but the courts finally, they said, okay, you know, they rule in our favor. And then finally we got possession. They went there, got the boat is in Mayapur right now. He was reconstructed, and then again, he went in a disrepair, just like it was displaced before. A little bit, you know, because, you know why? Because nobody wants to go in the boat anymore. It's too difficult, too austere, you know, this and that, you know, nobody, they want to go car, you're there in a minute, you know, you buy subject in the market, you don't have to do so much endeavor. The boat is an adventure just by itself. You have to bathe in the Ganga, you know, you have to do everything while in traveling in the boat. You know, you have a beautiful program, morning program, evening program. You know, it's like a floating temple. So unfortunately, there was, you know, I don't want to say anything, my fellow brahmacharis here, but they don't feel like, you know, we should go in the boat for some reason. It's not too hard, exactly too, you know, they cannot do the austerity, you know. It's too slow for them. They go fast with the cars, they go, you know, just like here, you know, we did 2-3 towns, you know, in one day. The boat is a little bit different. It has a pace of its own. So thank you very much. Please bless me. One day I'm gonna go back in that boat. You know, all of us maybe. Huh?
Everyone, please take us everyone.
Yeah, we go in the super pada, Nitai pada Kamala. Huh? If Nitai has such a big heart, he can fit all of us in there. Huh? What do you say? Hare Krishna, thank you. I'm still in this book. Chief of Daikots, thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji. Sorry, Prabhu, I think I speak too much.
Thank you. So can we request His Holiness? Okay. Okay, we are waiting now. Any minute, His Holiness Jayapataka Swami will arrive. Today he must be exhausted because he gave the Srimad Bhagavatam class today in Mayapur early morning, and then he traveled also from Mayapur to Kolkata, but he missing the Safari devotees very much. We also missing him, so we're going to have his darshan, his association any minute. Haribol. I thought this is such a wonderful place to sing here. We already hear the glories of Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Let's chant the holy name in this place for a few minutes. Maybe I will request or Baladeva or Madhava Prabhu to sing some bhajans. You have a harmonium here? You want to sing with harmonium? Prabhu?
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. Someone can help to bring the harmonium. I will